The 5th of July, Sunday, the Sun Star, Sunday morning, 2026. A brief reading from the Common Buddhist Text, Guidance and Insight from the Buddha. Chief editor of this compilation is Dr. Dhamma Maha Kosachan. We're in chapter 10 from the perspective of the Theravada tradition, the goals of Buddhism. Happiness in this and future lives. As previously seen, Buddhism regards rebirth in the human realm as rare and precious. It accepts the reality of many heavenly realms and sees both of these kinds of rebirths as the fruits of wholesome actions. Such actions also lead to harmonious relationship with others, along with meditative tranquility and joy. All of these are amongst the goals of the Buddhist practice. However, the final goal is to attain nirvana or nibbida. So, as long as they go beyond any future rebirths and the pains that these bring. Definitive spiritual breakthroughs. One who attains the destructions of the mental defilements which lead to future rebirths is known as a arihanta or a arihat. He or she has access to direct experience of nibbida or nirvana during this life, and at death attains final nirvana. Other noble ones, Dakinaya Pugala, attain different levels of spiritual development which are certain to lead to arihatship within 7 lives or at most. Nirvana. Nirvana in Pali, it's called nibbida. In Sanskrit, it's nirvana. It's the goal of Theravada Buddhism, Buddhism's noble eightfold path, like dependent arising, patisamupata. It is seen as profound and hard to see. It is the extinctions of all the fires of attachment and lust, hatred and delusion, and of the mental and physical pains that these bring in any forms of conditioned existence or rebirth. It is experienced initially in life when a person becomes an arihat, an enlightened person, with the destructions of attachment, the destructions of hatred, and the destructions of delusion. When an arihat dies, there is nibbida or nirvana beyond death, a state beyond descriptions. This can be cited in the Iti Vatuka 38 to 39. Furthermore, the purpose of the holy life, brahmacharya. Here, monks, bhikkhu, a certain person of good family who has gone forth from home to homelessness through life of faith, gains honors and praise. They do not become glad, nor one who has fulfilled their resolve with those gains and praise. Because of those gains, honors, and praise, they do not exalt themselves and disparage others, saying, I am the recipient of gains, honors, and praise, but these other monks are less known, little esteemed. They do not become intoxicated, negligent, and heedless. Being heedful, they succeed in achieving ethical discipline. Because of this success in achieving ethical discipline, they become glad, but are not one who has fulfilled their resolve. They do not exalt themselves and disparage others. Being heedful, they attain success in achieving meditative concentration. Because of this success in achieving concentration, they become glad, but are not one who has fulfilled their resolve. Being heedful, they attain knowing and seeing. Because of this knowing and seeing, they become glad, but are not one who has fulfilled their resolve. Because of this knowing and seeing, they do not exalt themselves and disparage others. Being heedful, they succeed in obtaining enduring release. Monks, bhikkhu, there is no way, and it is not possible, that this monk will fall away from that enduring release. Monks, it is like a man wanting heartwood, seeking for heartwood, who goes out in search for heartwood, who came to the great tree standing possessing heartwood, who cuts out the heartwood itself, rather than any lesser part of the tree, and takes it away, knowing that it is heartwood, and whatever use there is for the heartwood for him that he partakes of. Thus, monks, this holy life of a brahmacharya is not for the benefit of gains, honors, and praise, not for the benefit of only achievement of ethical discipline, not for the benefit of achievement for meditative concentration, not for the benefit of knowing and seeing. Monks, bhikkhus, the purpose of this holy life of a brahmacharya, the pith of it, the ultimate goal of it, is the unshakable release of the mind. This passage can be cited in the Maha Saropama Sutra, Majjhima Nikaya, Volume 1, page 193 to 198. Nirvana as the destruction of attachment, hatred, and delusion. This verse is cited in the Nibbana Sutra, Samyutta Nikaya, Volume 4, 251. It states, in its simplest sense, nirvana is the destruction of all defilements. Friend Sariputra, it is said, nirvana, nirvana. What is nirvana? Friend, nirvana is the destruction of attachment, the destruction of hatred, and the destruction of delusion. Nibbana Sutra, Samyutta Nikaya, Volume 4, 251. Synonyms for nirvana. This passage characterizes the goal of the path primarily as the unconditioned, unconstructed asankata, in the form of the destruction of attachment, destruction of hatred, and the destruction of delusion. Then it gives various inspiring synonyms for the unconditioned, one of which is nirvana. Nirvana is likened to the safe and delightful further shore of the river. The hither shore represents the dangers of samsara vata, the rounds of rebirth and existence. Bhikkhu, monks, I shall teach you the unconditioned and the path leading to the unconditioned. And what bhikkhus, is the unconditioned, the destruction of attachment, the destruction of hatred, the destruction of delusion. This is called the unconditioned. Monks, I will teach you the uninclined and the path leading to the uninclined, the without intoxicating inclination of truth and reality, the beyond, the subtle, the very hard to see, the undecaying, the lasting, the undisintegrating, the non-manifestive, the non-unproliferated, the peaceful, the deathless, the sublime, the auspicious, the secure, the destruction of craving, the marvelous, the amazing, the unailing state of nirvana, the unafflicted, non-attachment, purity, freedom, the unclinging, the island amidst the flood, the shelter, the place of safety, the refuge, the final destination. This can be cited in the Asankata Samyutta Nikaya, Volume 4, 362 and 368 to 373. Nirvana as the highest bliss. Health is the highest gain. Nirvana is the highest bliss. The Eightfold Path is the best of paths, for it leads to the deathless. Magadhya Sutra, Majjhima Nikaya, Volume 1, 508. Happy indeed we live, we for whom there is no impediments, attachment, hatred, and delusions. Feeders on joy we shall be, like the radiant gods. This is cited in the Dhammapada, verse 200. We will leave off there today on the short reading on chapter 10 on the goals of Buddhism. We're covering nirvana or nibbida. We will pick up on the nature of nirvana. A common Buddhist text, guidance, and insight from the Buddha. Chief editor of this compilation is Dr. Mahadhammakosachan, otherwise known as Brahma Pandit.